I'm Paul George. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke F-A-S-T. Fast. Life is why. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, just like Mark's having issues up in Philadelphia with his connection. We had a little bit of technical difficulties here, but it's part of live radio. So we'll get back to where we were saying. Zach, you was mentioning a point on coaches and Paul's opinion. What were you saying?
Yeah, like I was saying, with Chicago and Sacramento, I think that there's a little bit of mismatch there because of, Cousins is Sacramento's best player.
Right.
And, I mean, they don't have the personnel to play Carl's system. Let's be real here. And I think everyone agrees. The Kings messed up by firing Mike Malone last year.
Agreed, yeah. Because look what he's doing in Denver.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job with nothing.
Malone's a really good coach. So I think that was their first misstep because they were struggling with Cousins out of the lineup. That's the thing that people, were not mentioning when he got fired. With Hoiberg, they just need to be able to play faster. Maybe that means that they look to trade Pau Gasol. Maybe they try to trade Taj Gibson at the deadline. They've got to do something, though, because I don't think that they're going to be as successful with Hoiberg as their coach if they can't pick up the pace some.
For me, I don't know if you blow the Bulls up right now.
I'm not saying blow them up.
No, I am.
Paul's saying that. Paul's saying that we should blow the whole thing up right now, but
blow it up. What do you have to lose? Can either of you guys tell me with confidence that Chicago can come out of the East?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's not even up for discussion.
Why?
Because first off, they have Jimmy Butler now. They have Pau Gasol now. This team they have now, again, in their last 10 games, they're 3-7. They've lost 3 in a row.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the last loss they had, I'm sorry, Dan, they lost to the Hornets. The Hornets are not a good team.
Now they're getting better now.
They're not a good team.
They're almost 500.
Right? They also lost to the Nuggets, and they lost to another team that was the sub 500 as well. I can't remember who, but this was like 2 or 3 games ago. They've lost to bad teams in this stretch. It's not even that they're losing to good teams. They're losing to bad teams. This is not a good basketball team. It's not a championship caliber team. Even if you can come out of the East, right? If you guys have confidence enough to say that, which I don't, can they beat the West? Can they even contend in the West? No, they'll get blown out by 20 every game and get swept. It's not even close. So this is it's a fraudulent contender, if you will. They're not good enough, and if you're not good enough, you need to blow up and make it good enough.
Well, Mark, here's the thing: at this point in time, do you trade Gasol, or do you keep him? And like Zach said, move Gibson, Mirotic. I know you're going to keep Bobby Portis. So what if you're the GM in Chicago, what do you do first?
Doesn't seem like we have Mark. So
Zach, same question to you.
Portis might be the perfect fit for a running system.
At power forward.
Yeah,
though.
at power forward. Yeah, exactly. At power forward, I think that would be a much better fit for them. The problem is, if you're going to trade Pau Gasol, what's a fair return for him at this point in his career? And who's going to give you something that can help you move in the direction that you need to play the style that would best fit Fred Hoiberg?
Well, it's, as Mark said before you got off earlier, there's teams that have assets. There's teams like Boston. Boston could really use a Pau Gasol.
Yeah, I agree.
So they have trade assets. They have draft picks. They have cap space. They have some guys that they could kind of move. They have young players that they probably aren't sold on, like James Young, that they'll move. So if I'm Chicago, I might be calling Boston right now.
Boston's interesting, but you're not going to trade a draft pick for Pau Gasol at this point. Gasol might have 2-3 years left.
I'm not making that move. I'm not.
I mean, I like the idea. I don't hate the idea. It's just, what assets are you giving up? If you're giving up a guy like a James Young, that's fine, because that's such a wash because he's not playing, and you don't know what he's going to be at this point. But if you're getting into a Jay Crowder, even an Evan Turner, like somebody like that for that team, I don't think you do that deal.
Well, my thing is, anyway, Pau Gasol wouldn't be my first first guy. Listen, if you're going to blow up the Bulls, obviously everyone would be looking at Pau Gasol first.
Yeah.
I think he plays center fine in that system. It's not like he's not fast, but he's not slow either. So he could play center in that system. And when the running game breaks down and you're in a half-court offense, who's your go-to guy? It's going to be Pau Gasol. So I'm okay with him being at center. I think they need to move Noah. They need to move
Who's going to
Gibson.
trade for Noah because he's hurt?
Yeah.
Well, right now, yeah, it's kind of rough. That's why I don't understand what they've been waiting for. I mean,
Mark said.
That's Mark said that earlier. I don't know what they've been waiting for.
Right.
Noah should have been traded. Gibson should have been traded. There's been plenty of players that should have already been traded and weren't. So I don't really know what Chicago's aim is, but I think they're doing things the wrong way.
I don't know. I think I disagree with this. I think right now it's just a bad period of basketball in Chicago. They've lost 3 games in a row, like Paul said. Denver, they lost to Minnesota as well, too.
Minnesota and Charlotte. Yeah.
Now, Charlotte's not a bad team to get close to 500. Minnesota's bad. Denver, they're hit and miss. So
Charlotte is 500, but
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they're still not a good team.
They're a better team than they were a month ago.
Right. And
so
KG's back.
you got the Bulls that are improving, but then let's look at, we kind of disagree with this, but what about the Sacramento situation? Sacramento has been, they're saying they're going to fire George Karl. Now they're saying they're not going to fire George Karl.
They're a mess. They're an absolute mess.
Mark, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you a bit. So, okay. So, Mark, here's my question for you. Now,
Okay.
we all know that the Kings are not going to trade DeMarcus Cousins.
No.
If you're the Kings, is it time to move Rudy Gay?
With where they are now, I would say, yeah. I think you can get something in return for him. So I was just like, move him, maybe get a wing player, draft pick, and then just see what you can do. But the other guys like Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins, you hold those guys together, and you build a team around those guys.
Yeah, I think Rondo's been fabulous in Sacramento, which, a lot of people were questioning that signing over the summer, and I thought it was a good pickup. They had Darren Collison, but Collison's proven that he's not really a starting point guard in the NBA. So I thought Rondo was a good pickup, and he's been outstanding. I mean, in my opinion, he's borderline top 5 point guard right now, just based on this season, easily top 10. So, I mean, he's playing really good basketball. So you hang on to Rondo, you hang on to Cousins. I think Mark's on to something. You move Rudy Gay. If you can get some young guys, particularly at shooting guard or small forward. I mean, Cauley Stein has actually been playing really well the last couple of games, given the time that he's had. Obviously, we're expecting this guy to end up being a Tyson Chandler type, double-double on a nightly basis or close to. So, I mean, he's kind of getting there. He's showing us his flashes right now. So I like where Sacramento's headed, but I think Mark's right. I think Rudy Gay is that piece that can get them what they need for the future.
Yeah, and on Rudy Gay, we'll touch on this more later. I think Rudy Gay would be the perfect guy for the Magic to trade for.
Ooh. But it also depends what the Magic give up. But we'll definitely get into that. But see, my thing is, Paul said the shooting guard has been the issue. But the Kings have drafted shooting guards. They've tried. Yeah. Well, they went with Ben McLemore.
Yep.
They drafted Stauskas.
Yep.
I mean, that was a terrible draft.
That was a terrible pick.
Yeah, man. I mean, but they've attempted to address this position. Now it's Marco Bellinelli. Bellinelli, for as good as he is not a starter in the NBA.
No.
He's very good off the bench.
He's very good off the bench.
He could give you starters minutes off the bench, but they don't have a 2 guard that's going to strike the fear of anybody. Because I'm sorry, the 3 of us can outshoot Ben McLemore the way he's been shooting over the last 2 years in the NBA. He's not been accurate. He's been so inconsistent. So my thing is, my last question before the break is, Rajon Rondo, Paul says, act like a top 5 point guard. Is he a most improved player candidate?
Absolutely.
Based upon last year.
I think he's more of a comeback player.
Comeback player, yeah.
Okay.
I'd improve.
Then
most improved is kind of tough because he's shown this potential earlier in his career.
He's
so
doing
it's not
what
like
he did in Boston.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like this is brand new for him. So I think comeback is more appropriate. I agree.
So, guys, we're going to also go and come back from a break. We're going to talk about awards. Since we're talking about most improved player, comeback player of the year awards, we're going to also get the 4 of us opinions on the MVP, coach of the year, rookie of the year, and also defensive player of the year. And we also want everybody to come by and also check us out. But before we go to break, what people have never heard on the show before, we have a segment from our good friends at Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. And every single week, Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues always brings us some of the best new blues artists. So if you want to check them out, yippee-ki-yayblues.com, please check them out. This week's show, is no exception, like I said. So tonight we're going to be playing a song from our good friends at Yippee, and the name of the song is, sorry about that, it is R.B. Stone, and the song is called Loosen Up off the album Loosen Up. So take a listen to R.B. Stone as we go to break. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on Sports Talk 1080.
Are you looking for a fun place to eat great seafood and watch live sports? Cajun Hotspot Seafood and Sports Bar offers boiled crawfish, live lobster, shrimp, crab legs, clams, mussels, oysters, and live blue crab in a house specialty sauce, po' boy sandwiches, and more. You can eat all of that, enjoy one of our specialty drinks from our full bar, and watch the game on one of our 16 TVs. Cajun Hotspot Seafood and Sports Bar, 7365 West Colonial Drive, on the corner of Colonial and Dorsher Road. Call 407-757-2165 and tell them Full Court Press sent you.
Sports Radio Update starts now.
Start off with some NBA injury news. Memphis center Marc Johnson, a broken right foot. He will be out indefinitely. Jimmy Butler going to miss 3 to 4 weeks for the Bulls. With him out, his teammate Pau Gasol will step in and take his roster spot in the East All-Star game. Blake Griffin suspended for 4 games by the Clippers, also fined 5 games. That'll be almost $700,000. All the money will be donated to charities for disadvantaged youth in Los Angeles. A couple of top 25 battles going on right now in college hoops. Number 18 Purdue leading number 8 Michigan State 25-14, just inside of 8 minutes of the first. And Kansas, they are 6th in America, leading number 10 West Virginia 8 minutes to go in the first. As always, go to NBCSportsRadio.com for all of your scores. I'm Keith Arizari. This is NBC Sports Radio and the mobile app.
Las Vegas Tuesday night report, NBA and college action against the spread. NBA 8-1 run, that's 88% winners. And tonight, guaranteed critical information, San Antonio, Miami as a lock. Washington, New York, and Houston, Golden State. 2-team college parlay. That's 5-0 free, and it starts on a recorded message. Call 1-800-244-5506. 8-1 run in the NBA, red hot against the spread. Miami, San Antonio is a lock. College action, you got West Virginia, Kansas, Michigan State, Purdue parlay. 5-0, 5-0 free, or the season free. You call right now, toll-free message. 1-800-244-5506. You want the winners? I will crush your man tonight for free. NBA Superlock, 5-0 free, ready now on the message phone. 1-800-244-5506. Go to JeffAllenSports.com.
Hey, y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation.
We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
How I'm supposed to love you if you cannot love yourself? Yeah, I know you independent, but you still gon' need some help. I still got love for the ones I lost. I never got a chance to return that call. I've been out of town, I left that summer in the same damn car. I ain't made it that far. Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Marcellus Javon, head designer for Hoop Culture. I'm kicking it right now with 1080 The Game Sports Talk. Make sure you check out the Hoop Culture flagship store located in Fashion Square Mall, right below the movie theater, for your chance to win free Magic tickets and come kick it with the team. Also, make sure you follow us on IG and Twitter at Hoop Culture and download our free app available for Androids and iPhones.
We are back for Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC here on Sports Talk 1080. the team. We're here live here at Cajun Hotspot here on 7365 West Colonial Drive on the corner of Colonial and